Since moving to the Netherlands from Australia a year ago, the most common question we get asked is, what are the main cultural differences between the two countries? Now, it's not necessarily the most easiest question to answer, so I've composed a list of 5 major cultural differences between the two. The first being average wake-up times. Now, it's very common for most Dutch people to not begin their day before 9 or 10 a.m. We first noticed this when we tried to get a coffee in the morning and went to a cafe and noticed that most cafes weren't open before 10 or 11 a.m. This was not a good start for 2 caffeine-addicted humans. In contrast, in Australia, it's quite normal for people of all ages to wake up before 5 a.m, get a coffee, do some form of exercise, even work on a side hustle before they even get to work at their 9 to 5. Being a nurse, I was very used to getting my coffee in the morning from my barista on my way to work in the morning, which was about 5 a.m. I personally feel a big part of Australian culture is productivity, and in order to be the most productive, you should always be working towards something at every part of the day. Looking back on it now, it can be quite exhausting after a while. The second major difference we've noticed is definitely the party culture here. I thought us Aussies knew how to party, but we are nothing compared to the Dutchies. Big part of the Dutch social scene is definitely festivals, and it's summer in the Netherlands at the moment, which means it's festival season, which can mean anywhere from 3 to 5 festivals in a few months. If you've seen our previous videos, you've seen us talk about Carnaval, which is a huge tradition here in the Netherlands. We have absolutely nothing like it in Australia. It's basically just a week of straight partying in the street. It's definitely more of a tradition in the south of the Netherlands where we're living, but it's definitely acknowledged everywhere. But it's not just the drinking and the partying, it's also the feeling around it. It's more of a time for the whole community to come together and everyone to feel involved and just have a drink with your friends and feel this big sense of community. I feel like the idea around social interactions and social outings is very different from Australia as well. In the Netherlands, they have something called a borrel. The borrel culture is basically you get together with your friends at a pub and have a few drinks and some nibbles, usually bitterballen or frikandellen or vlammetjes, the classic Dutch snacks. There's also a tradition called the vrijmibo that I've learned since being here, which basically means vrijdagmiddagborrel, which is drinks in the middle of the day on a Friday. So usually after work on a Friday, you get together with your colleagues or friends and just have a drink, decompress, talk about the week and just relax for the weekend. We also love the little acronyms that the Dutch have for things like this. Something else on this topic that I've noticed specifically since working in horeca or hospitality is the amount of times that people spend together at mealtime. Most guests would stay and eat together for around 3 or even 4 hours. They would have a drink, then have dinner, and even stay for multiple drinks after dinner and just enjoy each other's company. No one has their phones out, no one's in a rush, and it seems like their whole priority is just spending time with each other and making sure it's quality time. I feel like this is somewhat different in Australia. Again, this is only our personal experience, but I could say people in Australia are often in too much of a rush. I could say you often feel that people are always preoccupied, whether it's work, personal life, or something else going on. We found that personally, people really struggle to be in the moment, ourselves included. Although the Dutch people seem a lot more relaxed, there are still some personality differences that we've noticed between the two cultures, which brings me to my third point, the Dutch directness. While we don't necessarily think it's a bad thing, we've just definitely had to adjust our way of thinking. In the Netherlands, saying exactly what you feel is generally considered to be honest and efficient rather than being rude. Feedback at work can often be blunt, and a disagreement is discussed openly between colleagues. The Dutch often challenge authority openly, whereas in Australia, we adopt a more informal vibe. Keeping with the theme of work, my next point is the work-life balance. As I mentioned earlier, it's a very career-focused vibe in Australia. Career progression is valued very highly in Australia, so taking time off is not really a priority. It's quite common to not take a holiday in a year or even a few years at a time. We take weekends off, we do, but often longer than that, it's not really a thing. Maybe because overseas travel isn't as readily available in Australia and it's often very expensive. In the Netherlands, time off and holidays are really valued and really important. So getting to a beach location is often an hour or a few hours flight away. Daily working hours are enforced and clocking off at a reasonable time is very common. Home time and work time are really separate and it's really valued to clock off and just enjoy your time at home. In comparison, in Australia, many people would often bring work home and they would work a lot of overtime. It's often seen as expected and not seen as going above and beyond. In the Netherlands, having time off is planned months or a year in advance. So that brings me to my next point, planning and spontaneity. Planning things with friends in the Netherlands is definitely a very different experience to planning things in Australia. We found that most Dutch people have a Google Calendar that is planned out exactly to the day, the week, the month. And it's very difficult to plan things with people less than a week or a month in advance. We often get asked, what are we doing in the third week in October when we are in April? In Australia, I did keep a Google Calendar as well, but it was only really for work shifts and overseas holidays or birthdays, big events that I needed to remember. I rarely put my social outings on my calendar. I feel like planning things with friends in Australia was very spontaneous and we would often message the day off and say, hey, I'm not doing anything tonight, would you like to go and do something, or even tomorrow? And it was always, yeah, sure, I have nothing on, or maybe, let me see, maybe we could do it tomorrow. I do really like this culture. It's forced me to be more organised and I'm a lot more on top of things. I'm sure there's definitely more cultural differences, but these are the 5 main ones that came to mind when I was thinking of these points. And even though integrating has meant changing some of our habits and behaviours, I wouldn't have it any other way.